you've come to a place in your life where dreams have come true and you're living in the dream world, is it not important to continue to dream for your future generations? This is Barry Phillips, the Timothy Torah, day one of Yeshev, and it's about, and he dwelt, that is, Yaakov dwelt, and we go to Bereshit or Genesis 37, begin with verse 1. Yaakov dwelt, Yeshev, in the land of his father's sojournings, in the land of Canaan. This is the genealogy of Yaakov. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers, and the young man was with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought an evil report of them to his father. Now, we would read those again as introductory remarks, waiting to read a little further and get into the storyline. But this is important information for us to understand. Let's do a little recap of Yaakov's life experience that we have understood thus far. He has lived a life of turmoil ever since he was in his middle teens, somewhere around 15 perhaps. He was cooking a mourner's stew of lentils, and Esau walks in, and there's this transaction of a bowl of lentils for a birthright, which then later on, decades perhaps, there's this transaction where Yitzhak, the father, is given a blessing, he thinks, to Esau, gives it to Yaakov. Yaakov takes the blessing, impersonating Esau, and Esau vows, "I'll kill you." So we have life on the run, living with his uncle Laban for 20 years. And there he has suffered lost wages, out-of-pocket expenses, and he was constantly taken advantage of. Came out of that situation blessed, prospered, but now facing Esau, as we studied last week, where he was brought to a place of fearing for his own life as well as the lives of his family, his wives and children. He wrestled with an entity of the spiritual realm, and now he is permanently disabled and his hip, and he's going to walk with a limp for the rest of his life. Add to that then, depending on your interpretation of the incident, his daughter Dinah was either raped or seduced by Shechem, the prince of the city Shechem, and King Hamor decides, well, let's assimilate with these Hebrew people and we'll get everything that they had. Well, Dinah's brothers had a different idea. And so they go in and they basically butcher all of the men of Shechem, making Yaakov and his family a stench in the nostrils of all the people that they live among. His primary wife, his beloved Rachel, has died on the side of the road. She is buried. When we see here that it says he was with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives, there's no mention of Leah. It's very possible that Leah has also died at this point. So then, as we come to this, he has wealth, he has 2 wives, he has 12 sons, and a disgraced daughter living at home. He's tired of fighting, his heart's broke, his body hurts. He's just looking for a place to settle down. Thus we have this idea of he dwelt. That is, he's hoping to have pitched his tent for the last time, and I can just stop all of this madness. I just want some peace. And isn't that really what we all want? Just to get off of this wild ride that we have called life up to whatever point we're in. And can we not just, Father, is it not enough for us just to now pray and read the Word and love some people and have our family around us, eat some food, get some rest, and get up the next day and do the same? When does the cycle of oppositions and conflicts and struggles and issues, the stuff, when does the stuff stop? Well, the problem with stopping the stuff, and yes, we need deliverance at times, and yes, we need reprieve, and Yah does indeed give that to us, but it cannot become our lifestyle. Without a dream, without a goal, without a sense of an unreached destiny, then we're going to stagnate and stand still. And if all is well, oftentimes we say, I'll pray tomorrow, or I'll press some other time, but I just give me a break here. Everyone needs a break. Even Yeshua told his disciples, let's steal away for a little while and get some rest. Well, that didn't work out well. So there is this need in the human experience of, I need to catch my breath. But after you catch your breath, you're caught your breath, there is this need then to continue to dream. And if you get to a place where you are incapable of really going for a big goal, we're still energetic enough and focused enough that we can do incremental goals along the way. But the lifelong vision, the lifelong dream that we started out with many years ago, maybe that seems to be out of reach for us. But can we not pass it on to the next generation? In this case, the genealogy of Yaakov, instead of mentioning the birth order of all the sons, it simply says Joseph. Rabbinical scholars have an interesting take, and that is that if you looked at Yaakov and then you looked at Joseph, they were identical. Now, that would be Yaakov in his younger days to Joseph in his youth. But there was no mistaking that this boy was his daddy's son. And Yaakov loved him above all of his brothers, promoted him above all of his brothers. And the thing about Joseph that we remember most clearly is that he's a dreamer. He's a man who is attached to the spiritual realm through dreams, through visions, through righteous discernment. When we find that there is an individual coming up in our footsteps, following in our footsteps, it may be physical lineage, it may be someone that we recognize has a similar heart, another family. And you want to encourage them. You want to mentor them. We normally say groom, but grooming has taken on a very negative connotation in these days. But you get the idea. You want to mentor, train, equip, disciple, teach someone how to walk as you have learned to walk, passing on your knowledge. The saddest thing that I think can happen is that Yah would teach us and equip us through all of this years, as I said, years of stuff. And we come to a place where we have learned some disciplines and we've learned some truths and we've fought some battles and gained victories. And we keep it all inside of us. It might be said that everyone above the age of, let's say, 60, 70-ish, something like that, that one of the last things that they need to do is write a book rehearsing the trials, the errors, the lessons learned, the victories gained, the insights that we have received, and pass it on to the next generation. There was an elderly man in our community here who was known as a great guitarist, used to play on the old, many decades ago, black blues circuit. And Mr. Frank was an awesome man and a great storyteller. And we regret to this day that someone didn't sit down with him and a camera and record all of the history and understanding, experiences, and life lessons that he had. Let's not lose what Yah has told us, gained for us, and find someone, find some people, find some media, write it down so that we can pass it along. Rehearsed histories are one thing, but we need to capture what Yah has given to us. More about this tomorrow. Till then, shalom.